In the midst of modern-day technological wonders and global chaos, an ancient prophecy that many have long forgotten is suddenly coming to light. Elon Musk, the visionary behind Tesla and SpaceX, has dropped a bombshell. The awakening of the Black Israelites could hold the key to understanding the end times. But what does this really mean? Could a group, long oppressed, hold the answers to the greatest questions about humanity's purpose on this earth? Could the pain and suffering of centuries finally give way to something greater than we ever imagined? Why are these ancient prophecies coming into focus now, at a time when the world feels so fractured? Could it be that we are on the brink of something much larger than we understand? As the world faces increasing turmoil, from rising global tensions to economic instability, are these the birth pangs of a new world order, as foretold in biblical texts? And more importantly, what does the awakening of the Black Israelites mean for the rest of humanity? In this video, we will explore the deep connection between the Black Israelites and biblical prophecy, uncovering the hidden truths about their role in the end times. You will see how Deuteronomy 28's ancient words align with the painful journey of the descendants of African slaves. We'll delve into how the awakening of these lost identities is not just a cultural revival, but part of God's divine plan to restore all things. Together, we'll understand why this event, this shift in global awareness, could change everything we know about our future. The prophecies, written centuries ago, are unfolding right now before our eyes, and the story of the Black Israelites is at the heart of it. If this message resonates with you, if it has sparked something deep within, I invite you to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Your voice is part of this awakening. And if you believe in the power of these messages, the importance of awakening, and the restoration that we are all part of, please support this channel by liking and subscribing. Every act of engagement is a step towards spreading this truth far and wide, helping to awaken others. Let's uncover these mysteries together, with hope and healing for a brighter tomorrow. The awakening of the Black Israelites and the prophetic fulfillment. In the heart of the Bible lies a promise of restoration, an awakening of a scattered people who would one day return to their true identity. This is not just a historical event, but a profound spiritual awakening, as the Black Israelites are rediscovering their heritage and stepping into their divine purpose. For centuries they have suffered, enslaved, and oppressed, yet the prophecies have always promised that the day would come when they would be restored. That day, it seems, is upon us. This awakening is not just about reclaiming a cultural identity, it is about fulfilling a divine promise that was written long ago, now coming to fruition in these modern times. The Black Israelites, once scattered and forgotten, are now reclaiming their rightful place in history. Their identity was lost through centuries of oppression, yet God's promises have always remained. In Deuteronomy 28, we find a powerful prophecy that describes the Israelites' dispersion across the earth and the suffering they would endure. The Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other, says Deuteronomy 28:64. This verse, though written thousands of years ago, resonates deeply with the experiences of African-descended people who endured the horrors of the transatlantic slave trade. Their displacement, their suffering, and their loss of identity align with the ancient words of Scripture. But the prophecy does not end with suffering. There is a promise of restoration. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, the Bible declares. This restoration is not merely about a return to land, but a return to the truth of who they are. A people called by God, destined for greatness. As we witness the rise of the Black Israelites, their awakening to their true identity, it is clear that this is more than a cultural revival. It is a prophetic fulfillment, a return to purpose, a recognition that the divine promises of the past are being fulfilled in the present. This story of awakening is not just theirs. It is a story that calls to each of us, urging us to awaken to our own truth. Just as the Black Israelites are rediscovering their true identity, so too must we all confront the ways in which we have been disconnected from our divine purpose. The story of their journey is a reminder that no matter how far we have strayed, no matter how much we have suffered, there is always hope for restoration. God's promises are eternal, and they are being fulfilled in our time through the awakening of the Black Israelites. But this is not just a historical moment. It is a call to action. As they rise to reclaim their heritage and fulfill their divine purpose, we are all invited to rise with them, to stand for justice, to reclaim what was lost, to heal the wounds of the past, and walk forward in the light of truth. The awakening of the Black Israelites is a moment that transcends time. It is not just their story, it is the story of us all. It is a call to embrace the truth, to recognize the power of restoration, and to walk in the divine purpose that has always been ours. The lesson here is simple, yet profound. The story of the Black Israelites is not just about a lost people finding their identity. It is about the fulfillment of God's promises to restore all things. It is a story of hope, of redemption, of divine purpose. The awakening of the Black Israelites is a powerful reminder that no matter how deep the suffering, no matter how far we have fallen, there is always a way back. And as we witness their rise, we are reminded that we too are called to rise, to reclaim our identity, to fulfill our purpose, and to walk in the light of truth. Deuteronomy 28, a blueprint for the Black Israelites' journey. The Bible is filled with stories of exile and return, of a people who were scattered and oppressed, but who would one day be restored. Deuteronomy 28 stands as one of the most profound expressions of this narrative. It lays out the blessings that would come to Israel for obedience, but it also foretells the curses that would befall them for disobedience. Among these curses is a prophecy that speaks of the Israelites being scattered to the four corners of the earth, enduring oppression and suffering. But there is also the promise of restoration, of a return to the land and to their true identity. When we read Deuteronomy 28 through the lens of the Black Israelites' journey, we see the striking parallels. "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships," says verse 68. For many, this is a direct reference to the transatlantic slave trade, where millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homeland and brought to the Americas. The journey of the Black Israelites from Africa to the Americas mirrors the prophecy of the Israelites being taken back to Egypt in ships, enduring the horrors of slavery. The suffering described in Deuteronomy 28 echoes the pain and loss experienced by the descendants of African slaves. But there is more to the prophecy. It speaks of a time when the Israelites will awaken, when they will return to their true identity and fulfill their divine purpose. In verse 64 it says, "And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth even unto the other." The Black Israelites, who have been scattered across the world, are now waking up to the truth of who they are. They are not just a people who were lost. They are a people with a divine purpose, a purpose that is now being fulfilled in the last days. This restoration is not just about a return to land. It is about the return to identity. It is about the reclaiming of purpose. As the Black Israelites rise to take their rightful place in history, they are not just reclaiming a cultural identity. They are fulfilling a divine purpose. The prophecy of Deuteronomy 28, with its promises of suffering, exile, and eventual restoration, is unfolding before our eyes. The Black Israelites are not only discovering their true identity, they are fulfilling the ancient prophecies that were written long ago. The lesson here is profound. The suffering of the Black Israelites was never meant to be the end of their story. It was always part of a larger divine plan, one that would ultimately lead to their restoration. Their awakening is a fulfillment of the prophecy, a reminder that no matter how deep the suffering, no matter how long the exile, God's promises are true. The journey of the Black Israelites is a story of hope, of redemption, and of divine justice. And as they awaken to their true identity, we are all called to awaken to our own. We are all part of this divine narrative, a narrative of restoration, of healing, and of the fulfillment of God's eternal promises. As we reflect on the journey of the Black Israelites, we are reminded that God's plans are greater than our understanding. The suffering they endured, the exile they faced, were all part of a divine blueprint that would ultimately lead to their restoration. And as we witness their awakening, we are reminded that no matter how lost we may feel, there is always a way back to the truth. Just as the Black Israelites are being restored, so too can we all be restored to our true purpose. This is the promise of God, and it is unfolding in our time. The role of technology and AI in the fulfillment of prophecy. In the era we live in, technology is reshaping our world in profound ways. Artificial intelligence, big data, and advanced algorithms are uncovering hidden truths, connecting dots that once seemed unrelated. But what if these advancements aren't just the result of human innovation? What if, in a way, they are part of a divine plan? Could artificial intelligence be a tool to reveal hidden prophecies, bringing to light long-forgotten truths that will guide humanity in its most crucial hour? The Bible tells us that knowledge will increase in the last days. This surge in technological capabilities, particularly through AI, could very well be the key to unlocking some of the mysteries that have remained buried for centuries. For centuries, much of the truth surrounding the Black Israelites and their role in biblical prophecy was hidden from the world. The oppression they endured, the scattered tribes, and the identities lost to time, these were stories silenced by history. But now, through AI and advanced technology, we see a remarkable shift. AI is processing vast amounts of historical data, analyzing ancient records, and revealing patterns that tie the suffering of the Black Israelites to the prophecies of old. Technology, which was once seen as a mere tool of progress, is now helping to unravel the divine blueprint that has been in place for millennia. We are living in a time when these prophecies are not only being uncovered, but are starting to make sense in the context of our present world. AI's ability to analyze, correlate, and highlight connections between ancient scriptures and contemporary global events is staggering. It is enabling a deeper understanding of why certain peoples, like the Black Israelites, have been scattered across the earth, and how their suffering and awakening align with the promises of restoration laid out in the Bible. As we witness this unfolding, it becomes clear that this is no coincidence. This is the divine hand at work, utilizing the technology of today to reveal the hidden truths of yesterday. But just as AI holds the power to reveal, it also has the potential to deceive. The Bible warns of great deception in the last days, a time when even the elect might be led astray by false prophets and false miracles. The rise of deepfake technology and AI-driven propaganda is a clear example of this potential for misuse. Yet, even amidst these challenges, the truth remains powerful. AI can be used to discern, to validate, and to help us reconnect with our divine purpose. If we use it wisely, it can help us navigate through the confusion of the modern world and find the clarity we need to fulfill our own roles in God's plan. The lesson here is simple yet profound. Technology, including AI, is not inherently good or evil. It is a tool. How we choose to use it determines its impact. The Black Israelites' awakening, facilitated by both spiritual revelation and the advancement of technology, serves as a reminder that God's plans are larger than we can comprehend. AI is one of the tools in the divine toolbox, helping to reveal the truth much as the scriptures foretold. But with this power comes responsibility. As we uncover truths about our past, our identities, and the prophecies that are unfolding, we must ensure that we remain grounded in wisdom, using technology to empower and restore, not to deceive or control. Global turmoil and the signs of the end times. The world is undeniably in a state of turmoil. Conflict between nations, economic instability, climate crises, and deepening social divides mark the landscape of our current age. As the world becomes more interconnected, the pain and suffering of one nation are felt by others. This global unrest, while distressing, could also be a powerful sign that the end times are approaching. The Bible tells us that in the last days, the world would experience great tribulation, wars, famines, earthquakes, and persecution. As we witness these events unfolding before us, it's hard not to ask, are we living in those prophesied times? Jesus spoke in Matthew 24 of the signs of the end times. You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. In our world today, we can look at current events and see these signs come to life. From geopolitical tensions to escalating climate disasters, the world is facing a time of unparalleled crisis. Yet, this is not just a time of despair, it is a time of awakening, as we are called to recognize the signs and prepare for what is to come. The awakening of the Black Israelites, as a part of the fulfillment of prophecy, is one of these signs. Just as the Israelites of old endured hardship, oppression, and exile, so too have the descendants of Africa suffered through centuries of slavery and systemic racism. Their awakening, their return to their true identity, is a powerful reminder that God's promises of restoration are being fulfilled in our time. The suffering of the past is not without purpose. It is part of a divine narrative that is now coming to its climax. As we witness these signs of the end times, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, to feel like the world is spiraling out of control. But we must remember that in the midst of this turmoil, there is a greater plan at work. The Bible promises that after the tribulation, there will be a time of restoration, of peace, and of justice. The Black Israelites' awakening is a testament to this promise. It is not just about their restoration, it is about the world moving toward a time of healing, when all will be made right. The suffering we see today is not the end. It is the beginning of something much greater. This awakening calls us all to action. Just as the Black Israelites are reclaiming their true identity, so too are we called to awaken to the truth of who we are. The world may seem to be in chaos, but it is also in the midst of transformation. The turmoil we see today is the birth pangs of a new world, one where justice and peace will reign. The awakening of the Black Israelites is just one part of this larger story. As we witness their rise, we are reminded that we too are part of this divine transformation. Each of us has a role to play in bringing about the restoration of all things, and as we engage with these stories, we are invited to join in the work of healing the world. The return to true identity and the power of restoration. The moment we are witnessing with the rise of the Black Israelites is not just a rediscovery of cultural history, it is a divine restoration. For centuries, they have been scattered, enslaved, and oppressed. Yet now, they are awakening, returning to their true identity as the people of the promise, the children of Israel. This return is not simply about reclaiming the past. It is about stepping into a divine purpose that has always been theirs, but hidden by the veil of history. This moment is not just theirs. It is a sign for all of humanity. a sign that no matter how deep the oppression, no matter how lost we may feel, there is always hope for restoration. The Bible speaks clearly about the time of restoration. In the book of Ezekiel, we read about the valley of dry bones, an image of complete desolation where life has seemingly fled. But God tells Ezekiel to prophesy to these bones, and as he does, they begin to come to life. The dry bones are a symbol of the scattered Israelites, of a people who have been lost and forgotten, but whose time of awakening has now arrived. And just as God breathed life into these dry bones, he is breathing life back into the black Israelites, returning them to their rightful identity. What is truly remarkable about this awakening is that it is not just a cultural resurgence, it is a spiritual revival. The black Israelites are not merely recalling their history, but they are being restored to their divine purpose. The promises made to their ancestors are being fulfilled right now in front of us. The scattering of the Israelites, their suffering, and their exile were never meant to be the end of their story. They were always meant to return, to reclaim their identity, and to step into the purpose that God had for them. And now, as the black Israelites awaken, they are fulfilling that prophecy. This return to true identity is not just for them, it is for all of us. The awakening of the black Israelites calls us to awaken as well. It is a reminder that no matter how far we have wandered from our true selves, there is always a way back. Just as the black Israelites are reclaiming their identity, so too are we all invited to rediscover who we truly are in the eyes of God. The suffering and the darkness of the past do not define us. They are part of the story, but they are not the end. The end is a restoration, a healing, and a return to the truth of who we are. In a world that is fractured by injustice and division, the restoration of the black Israelites is a beacon of hope. It is a reminder that no matter how long we have been lost, no matter how deep the scars of history, we are all capable of healing, of returning to our true purpose. This is not just their story. It is a story for all of humanity. As they rise, we too are called to rise. As they reclaim their identity, we too are called to reclaim our own. The awakening of the black Israelites is not just a moment in history. It is a moment of transformation for all of us, a moment when the promises of restoration are fulfilled for the entire world. The lesson here is clear. No matter how deep the pain, no matter how long the exile, there is always hope for restoration. The black Israelites are a living testament to this truth. Their story is our story, one of suffering but also one of redemption. Just as God promised to restore the Israelites, he promises to restore us all. The return to true identity is not just about remembering the past. It is about stepping into the divine purpose that has always been ours. And as we witness this awakening, we are reminded that the time for our own awakening is now. Global turmoil and the fulfillment of prophecy. The world is in turmoil. Nations are in conflict. The earth itself groans with the weight of natural disasters, and the cries of the oppressed echo in every corner of the globe. It is a time of great unrest, but it is also a time of great transformation. The Bible speaks of a time when the world would be in chaos, a time of wars, famines, and earthquakes, yet also a time when the faithful would rise, when justice would prevail, and when the truth would be revealed. Could it be that we are living in this moment now? Is the global chaos we see unfolding before us a sign of the fulfillment of prophecy? Jesus spoke of these signs in Matthew 24, saying, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All these are the beginning of birth pains." As we witness the rising tensions between nations, the political divisions within countries, the climate catastrophes, and the rise of economic instability, it seems as though the world is indeed in the midst of these birth pains. The earth is shaking, nations are clashing, and the world feels more fragmented than ever before. Yet this is not a time for despair. It is a time for hope. The Bible tells us that after the tribulation, after the suffering, comes the restoration. The awakening of the black Israelites is a powerful sign of this restoration. Their rise, their return to their true identity, is a living testimony that the divine promises are being fulfilled. It is a sign that despite the chaos and suffering of the world, there is a greater plan at work. The prophecies of old are coming to life in our time. As the black Israelites return to their heritage, they are fulfilling the ancient promises of restoration and redemption. But this awakening is not just for them, it is for all of humanity. The global turmoil we see today is a call for all people to awaken to the truth, to recognize that we are all part of the divine narrative, and to rise together in the face of the challenges we face. The black Israelites' awakening is a sign that the end times are not just about destruction, they are about transformation. They are about the restoration of all things and the beginning of a new world. In a world that feels increasingly divided and uncertain, the story of the black Israelites reminds us that the divine plan is still unfolding. We are not powerless in the face of chaos. We are part of a larger story, a story of redemption, healing, and transformation. The lesson here is that no matter how dark the world may seem, there is always hope. The black Israelites' rise is not just about their return, it is about the world's return. It is a sign that no matter how far we have fallen, we are all capable of rising, of reclaiming our true identity, and of fulfilling the divine purpose that has been set before us. The world is not coming to an end. It is being reborn. And as we stand on the precipice of this transformation, we are invited to join in the restoration of all things. The black Israelites' awakening is just the beginning of a much larger awakening that will change the world forever. As we come to the end of this powerful exploration of the black Israelites' awakening, we are left with a profound sense of awe. The journey they have undertaken is not just their own. It is a story that transcends time, culture, and geography, speaking directly to the heart of all of humanity. Their rise is a divine fulfillment of prophecy, a restoration of identity, and a return to purpose that has been promised for centuries. And as we witness this powerful transformation, we are reminded that we are all a part of a much larger story, one that is unfolding right now before our very eyes. The black Israelites' journey is not just about reclaiming a lost heritage, it is about stepping into the fullness of divine promise and purpose. They have endured centuries of oppression, suffering, and exile, but they are now awakening to the truth of who they are. This awakening is a reminder for all of us that no matter how lost we may feel, no matter how far we have wandered, there is always hope for restoration. Their rise is not just a personal victory, it is a collective victory for all who have been oppressed, marginalized, or forgotten. It is a sign that redemption is not only possible, but is happening right now. In a world that feels divided, fragmented, and uncertain, the story of the black Israelites offers hope. It is a beacon of light in a time of darkness, a reminder that we are not bound by the injustices of the past. We are called to rise, to reclaim our true identity, and to step into the divine purpose that has always been ours. Just as the black Israelites are awakening to their true identity, we too are called to awaken to the truth of who we are and to live in the fullness of that truth. As we reflect on this incredible journey, it is important to remember that we are all part of this story. The black Israelites' awakening is not just about them, it is about all of us. Their rise calls us to rise. Their return to their true identity calls us to return to ours. Their journey of restoration is a reminder that our own journey of healing and transformation is possible. No matter how dark the world may seem, no matter how much suffering we endure, we are all part of a divine plan that is leading us to restoration, healing, and fulfillment. If this video has touched your soul, if it has brought light to your darkness, I invite you to share that light with others. Leave a comment below and share your thoughts on the awakening of the Black Israelites, the prophecies being fulfilled, and the restoration of divine purpose. Your voice is part of this journey. And if you feel that this message resonates with you, if it has brought value to your heart and your soul, I ask you to support this channel by liking, subscribing, and engaging with this community. Every small act of support, whether through a like, a share, or a comment, helps spread the message of hope, healing, and restoration to others who need it most. Your support means the world to me. It fuels my passion to continue creating and sharing these powerful messages. Every contribution, no matter how small, is a priceless gift that enables me to continue on this journey of truth and healing. Together we can help bring about the transformation that is so desperately needed in the world. Let's rise together, reclaim our true identity, and step into the divine purpose that has been waiting for us. May we all walk in the light of truth, love, and restoration, knowing that the time for healing is now. Thank you, from the bottom of my heart, for being part of this journey. Your presence, your support, and your energy make all the difference. Let's continue to share the light, spread the truth, and awaken to the divine plan that is unfolding before us.